On the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, a circle of immense stones stands as a silent testament to a forgotten age. This is Stonehenge, one of the world's most famous and enigmatic prehistoric monuments. For thousands of years, these colossal sarsens and smaller bluestones have captured the human imagination, their purpose shrouded in mystery. They have witnessed the turning of seasons, the rise and fall of empires, and the endless march of time. We look upon them with awe, wondering about the people who raised them, the beliefs they held, and the incredible effort it must have taken to build such a structure with only the simplest of tools available to them. The fame of Stonehenge rests not just on its sheer scale, but also on its enduring mysteries. Why was it built? Who were these ancient architects and astronomers? The stones themselves offer clues. They are arranged in a precise manner, with some forming towering trilithons, two upright stones with a third laid across the top like a lintel. At the heart of this great circle lies a particularly special stone, a 6-ton slab of reddish sandstone known as the altar stone. For generations, it was believed to have been brought from Wales, alongside the famous bluestones, but its true origin has remained a subject of intense debate among archaeologists and historians for decades. The monument is far more than a random assortment of rocks. It is a masterpiece of prehistoric engineering and astronomical observation. The entire structure is carefully aligned with the movements of the sun. On the longest day of the year, the midsummer solstice, the rising sun appears to hover directly over the heelstone, which stands just outside the main circle. Similarly, at the midwinter solstice, the setting sun aligns perfectly with the tallest trilithon. This astronomical precision tells us that the builders possessed a profound understanding of the cosmos, tracking celestial cycles with a sophistication that continues to astonish us today, showing a deep connection to the world around them. Part of what makes Stonehenge so captivating is the story of its construction, which occurred in several phases over a period of at least 1,500 years, beginning around 3000 BC. The smaller bluestones, weighing up to 4 tons each, were famously traced to the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away. The larger sarsen stones were sourced from the Marlborough Downs, about 20 miles to the north. But the altar stone, lying horizontally at the monument's center, has always been a puzzle. Its unique geological composition set it apart, and for a long time, the Welsh origin theory seemed the most logical explanation, but it never quite fit perfectly with the evidence. For nearly a century, the accepted story was that the altar stone, like the bluestones, began its journey in Wales. Scientists had pointed to the Senni Formation, a geological area stretching across parts of South Wales, as its likely source. This theory placed the stone's origin relatively close to that of the bluestones, suggesting a shared and singular effort to bring these sacred materials to the Salisbury Plain. It was a neat and tidy explanation that held sway in mainstream archaeology for decades. The idea that a single region provided all the exotic stones for the monument seemed to make perfect sense, painting a picture of a concentrated effort from one particular cultural group. However, a groundbreaking scientific discovery has now completely overturned this long-held belief. Using advanced geochemical analysis, a team of researchers has definitively matched the mineral composition of the altar stone to a location far, far to the north. The new evidence, published just this year in 2025, points not to Wales, but to the Orcadian Basin in northeast Scotland. This incredible finding means the 6-ton slab of sandstone was transported over 700 kilometers, about 450 miles, to its final resting place. This revelation doesn't just change our understanding of one stone, it transforms our entire perception of the society that built Stonehenge. Interestingly, the idea of a Scottish origin is not entirely new. It was first proposed by geologists in the mid-20th century, but without the technology to prove it, the theory was largely dismissed and even ridiculed by the archaeological establishment. It remained a fringe hypothesis, a whisper against the prevailing narrative of a Welsh connection. Now, with the advent of precise mineral age testing and isotopic fingerprinting, what was once considered a wild speculation has been confirmed as fact. This moment represents a triumph for modern science and a lesson in how new technology can unlock the secrets of the very distant past. This new origin story for the altar stone forces us to reconsider the human landscape of Neolithic Britain. The people who built Stonehenge were not an isolated community working alone on the Salisbury Plain. Instead, they appear to have been part of a vast and interconnected network that spanned the entire island of Great Britain. The logistical challenge of moving such a stone from the northern tip of Scotland suggests a level of communication, cooperation, and shared purpose that was previously thought impossible for the era. It speaks of a society with a reach and ambition that we are only just beginning to comprehend. Transporting a 6-ton stone slab from the north of Scotland to the south of England around 4,500 years ago is a feat that borders on the miraculous. In an age without the wheel, without iron tools, and without large domesticated animals to pull heavy loads, the task would have been monumental. The journey would have traversed some of Britain's most difficult terrain, including rugged mountains, dense forests, wide rivers, and treacherous seas. The sheer human effort required to move this single stone is almost impossible for us to fully appreciate. It would have taken hundreds of people working together in a highly organized fashion to even begin such a project. The logistical planning involved would have been immense. Imagine the coordination needed to fell trees and shape them into sledges or rollers, to weave ropes strong enough to haul tons of rock, and to build rafts or boats capable of carrying such a heavy and precious cargo across sea channels. A vast support system would have been necessary to provide food, water, and shelter for the workforce over a journey that likely took many months, if not years. Each river crossing, each steep incline, and each boggy marsh would have presented a new and formidable challenge that required ingenuity, teamwork, and an unwavering sense of shared purpose. Why would they go to such extraordinary lengths? The answer must lie in the stone itself. The builders of Stonehenge did not choose their materials based on convenience, they chose them for their significance. Just as the blue stones were brought from a specific set of hills in Wales, and the sarsen's from a particular ridge in the Marlborough Downs, the altar stone was deliberately selected from a source in Scotland. This suggests that the origin of the stones was deeply symbolic. Perhaps these locations were seen as sacred, representing the ancestral homes of different tribes, or embodying unique spiritual properties. This deliberate selection points to a complex system of beliefs that connected people to specific places in the landscape. The act of bringing these stones together from across the length of Britain, from Wales in the west and Scotland in the north, may have been a powerful political and social statement. It could have symbolized the unification of different peoples, a grand alliance represented in stone at the heart of their ceremonial world. The altar stone, journeying from so far away, was not just a building material. It was an emblem of connection, a sacred relic carried on an epic pilgrimage. The revelation of the altar stone's Scottish origin reinforces what archaeologists have increasingly come to understand. Stonehenge was not an isolated wonder, but the heart of a vibrant and sprawling ceremonial landscape. Using technologies like ground-penetrating radar, researchers have uncovered a hidden world of ditches, pits, and other henges beneath the fields of Salisbury Plain. Some of these features predate the stone circle itself by centuries, showing that this area was a sacred gathering place for a very long time. Stonehenge was the magnificent culmination of millennia of ritual activity, a central hub in a complex and evolving sacred geography. This new evidence of a pan-British connection adds another layer to our understanding of Neolithic societies. The people who built Stonehenge were not primitive farmers living in small, disconnected groups. They were sophisticated astronomers, brilliant engineers, and skilled organizers who shared a common culture and cosmology across vast distances. Similar ceremonial monuments found in places like Orkney in Scotland and Avebury, not far from Stonehenge, exhibit shared architectural styles and astronomical alignments. This suggests a unified system of belief and knowledge that connected communities from the Northern Isles to the Southern Plains. With Stonehenge as a possible epicenter, the society that accomplished this must have been far more advanced and interconnected than previously imagined. The transportation of the altar stone is a testament to their maritime capabilities and their ability to forge and maintain long-distance alliances. It implies a world where knowledge, goods, and people moved freely over land and sea. Bringing a stone from Scotland, another from Wales, and others from a local source to create a single, unified monument speaks of a people who saw their world as a whole, a sacred island bound together by shared ancestry, beliefs, and a profound connection to the cosmos. In conclusion, the journey of the altar stone from Scotland to Stonehenge is a story that transforms our view of the ancient past. It challenges us to see the builders not as mysterious primitives, but as resourceful and highly intelligent people with a complex social structure and a deep spiritual vision. They possessed the skill to shape stone with incredible precision, the astronomical knowledge to map the heavens, and the social organization to undertake projects of unimaginable scale. The Scottish connection reveals that Stonehenge is more than just a local marvel. It is a symbol of a connected Neolithic Britain, a monumental tribute to the unity and ingenuity of our distant ancestors.